Hey folks, Mitch Lum here. I'm going to do a quick video comparing Jeff Park's Bones knives. So there's three levels. There's his customs, which I have three of, which I'm super lucky. There's his Midtechs, and then there is the upcoming CRKT Knives collaboration piece, which I'm super lucky to have one of. Jeff gave one of these to me at SHOT Show, and I've been carrying it daily since SHOT Show last week. So I wanted to compare because, as you can see here in the video, the design on all of them is nearly identical. So when you buy the CRKT Bones, which will MSRP at $99.99, you're getting the same shape and functionality of, say, the custom Bones. This one happens to be a lefty that Jeff made for me because I'm left-handed, but they're all the same shape except the custom baby Bones, which is slightly smaller. However, there are quite a bit of important but nuanced differences that you might not necessarily just pick up from looking at pictures here, pictures on the internet or YouTube. So with the custom Bones, on some of them, Jeff puts his Bones, you can kind of see it here, puts his Bones pivot. This is the original one with fairly light engraving on it, the original. Here's another one. This is a custom Bones in Timascus, and again, just like the other one I have, he has the lightly engraved Bones. And on more recent models, he's been cutting in the skull. So let me actually try to zoom in on that. See if we can get that in there. He has the skull machined into the pivot, and then also on the back side it's plain, but he's got some newer ones that he's done where he actually has the Bones the crossbones 3D machined in. On the Midtechs, they have the same material as the custom. So they're titanium handles, titanium inlaid lock, CPM 154 blade steel. They don't have the fancy pivot, and it's hard to pick up here in a video. You probably won't be able to see it, but on the Midtech, you've got a Scotch-Brite finish that runs this transverse to the blade, whereas all the customs have a hand-rubbed blade. So they take up to a high grit sandpaper and hand rub the blades so the lines go linearly like the nicer customs all have. So the difference between, say, a $700 custom and a $425 Midtech is basically Jeff didn't make all the parts himself in the shop in Kaneohe, but it has the same materials combination and the same design, and then there's just some subtle things like the way the pivot is and the hand rubbed finish. So then from 700 to 400, some people are probably thinking, well, I can just get one of these CRKTs. It's practically the same as the Midtech. Well, it's not nearly the same. So it's the same shape. The action on it is, it's really nice for a factory knife, especially for a sub-$100 factory knife. Because the geometry is the same, it has a very similar feel. But it's not quite as smooth as the Midtech or the customs. So the Midtech and the customs there's just a better feel to it, which is pretty subtle. But, for those who are more discerning collectors and who want better materials, the Midtech's the way to go. or the custom if you can even get one. So on the CRKT bones, the guys at CRKT did an amazing job on this knife. It's, you know, it looks and feels very similar to his custom. However, the handles are aluminum with stainless liners inside. So that's one big difference. Is it's basically more mass producible to do an aluminum handle with stainless liners as opposed to fully machined titanium handles and titanium lock. And then the blade steel on the CRKT is AUS 8, which is, it's an okay blade steel. You know, I'm carrying it, I'm using it, it works. But it's definitely not in the same category as the CPM 154. Some other subtle details that are maybe hard to pick up. If you can see here, let me see if I can zoom in. Zoom in a bit. You know, there's the subtle details like on the Midtech and the custom, where the flipper is skeletonized out. You know, that's a nice design feature, whereas you can see here on the CRKT, the flipper area, the flipper shape is just a hair different, and then it's not skeletonized out. So that's one difference. The other difference is, here, let me move some of these over. On the back spacer, this is, I believe, an aluminum or a steel back spacer on the CRKT, and you see there's no jimping. The traction cutouts are different, or there's no traction cutouts on the CRKT, and there's traction cutouts here on the Midtech and the custom. What else is different here? The clip, the material on the clip is different. Titanium clip versus probably a stainless clip. Aluminum can't be anodized with the kind of colors that Jeff gets on his Midtechs and his customs. Again, pivot is slightly different, and then the finish of the blade is they're both Scotch Brite, but the finish on the blade and the edge geometry is slightly different on the Midtech, which I like better. You know, it's a nuanced difference, of course, but it is a difference, and for those you know, more discerning collectors or who want the best knife they can have, you know, stepping up from a CRKT to a Midtech might be a good value for you. So again, all of his knives from the CRKT to the Midtech to the customs are very similar design, but in execution and in material combinations and details is where you're getting more as you go up. So for the custom knife collector, or the person who just likes high quality gear, definitely the Midtech represents to me the best value, because you do get the premium material that's on the customs. You get a lot of the features that are on the customs that you definitely aren't getting on the mass-produced one. But, you know, if you're just looking for a really inexpensive, good everyday carry knife, the CRKT will probably be just fine for most of you. Anyway, that's a short, almost 10-minute review. I guess it wasn't as short as I expected. But if you have any questions, comment in the YouTube, or get on Jeff's Facebook group. It's Jeff Park Knives on Facebook. Thanks.